just a short, quick video. Look over here in 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔, but we'll definitely come back some other time to get more into the issues that are going on. Because we're here in Gambia, I don't think we can just let this one slide just like that. We are witnessing something unprecedented, or maybe it's precedented, like reminds me of past events. The Barrow administration is trying to sweep this under the rug. And the most outrageous thing also just happened. In case you guys have not noticed, there is an attack on the Republic and on Mustafa. The Gambia Press Union just issued a statement. If you have not read it, you can go to the Republic's page and you will see it, that the National Human Rights Commission's leader, 𝒂𝒊𝒏, and the head of the Media Council of the Gambia, those two people are trying to press on Mustafa to basically exonerate 𝒂𝒊𝒏. This is the kind of nonsense that we are witnessing in that country. The very simple thing to do, the most simplest of all things, is Mustafa did his investigation, found corruption, cronyism, favoritism, and all that which happened around the Janneh Commission. Instead of them going to the Ministry of Justice or whoever is responsible to come out and clarify by producing the evidence that they have in their custody, the government has complete 100% custody of everything that is claimed in the public's report, to say that here is actually what had happened. Instead of doing that, they are pressuring him, 𝒂𝒊𝒏, National Human Rights Commission, while the youths are languishing in jail. That is why they have not said anything. This is the kind of nonsense that goes on in that country. Enhanced corruption. If 𝒂𝒊𝒏 wants his name to be exonerated, he is a lawyer. He can hire other lawyers and tell them, go meet with Mustafa and talk to him. Even that will be wrong. But the head of the National Human Rights Commission and the head of the Media Council of the Gambia, those are the people trying to connive, collaborate, just to exonerate their friend while they try to push other people under the bus. Who is 𝒂𝒊𝒏? If he did wrong, just like anybody else, let the report come out. It doesn't matter who is there. I don't care whose name is on that list. Let the report come out. Let the people see for themselves who is on that list. It doesn't matter who it is. Let the people know what happened. The government's responsibility, that's all it is. 100%, 110%. Nobody else has any responsibility here. X comes out and clarifies his name. Y comes out and clarifies his situation. You know, A comes out and says, I'm not involved. P comes out and says, all of that are bare nonsense. The absolute nonsense. Let the government produce the list. Nikoko Masakundai Bagasikaru Wafele at this price. Who bought it? That is what the job of the receiver is. It's sold to this person. Here's their name. Here's their address. Here's their ID number. Here's the amount they paid. Here's the location of the property they bought. That is all documented. Why don't they produce that document? All this nonsense about National Assembly inquiry, extraordinary session of the National Assembly is all a waste of time to let the people's anger die down, and then they come up with a different excuse. That's all this is. But nothing is more ridiculous than having the members of the National Human Rights Council, as well as the Media Commission, their heads, coming out to pressure a journalist. You're supposed to be protecting journalists, and then you're pressuring them to say you have to vindicate this other person. This is the outrage that we should hold on to as a country. All of us. This is not partisan. Yahya Jammeh stole from the Gambian people tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars from the state coffers to use for his own personal benefit. Those monies were recovered, and they are supposed to be given for the benefit of the people of the Gambia. Throughout that process, what did they do? They sold it to themselves, gave it to their relatives, called each other up. There was no public auction, which is why Dawda Jallow is saying they are not going to produce the list. Why would you not produce the list? If the government sells stuff, they do it through the sheriff division, and what happens is an auction. When you go to a public auction and you bid for an item, you are publicly opening up to the people to say, I want to buy this item. So where is the privacy in that? All of it is a ploy. And who is on that list? At first, what they always try to do, try to deflect attention from them Wala na Ismail Senatan and Tamadawlo of France Kankro, and then saying we didn't hear from the UDP yet. What do you have to hear from the UDP? What does it have to do with the UDP? Nobody cares who is on that list. As long as they are on that list, it shows that they are corrupt. It's that simple. So the truth of the matter is on the list. Pull out the list, let the people see what is happening. But all of that, they're trying to brush it under the carpet. That didn't work. Now they're saying, oh, we're going to compile the list and bring it out. A list that you're already in custody of. Alpha Capital people coming out and saying this didn't happen. They're interviewing somebody else from another side saying, no, I didn't play this other part. Rodabo is on the other side saying this didn't happen. 𝒑𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏 is claiming different things. Why don't you just produce the list? That's the evidence that the people need. Kumoeba. Everybody goes to bed. Let us see the names on the list, what they bought, when they bought it, how much they bought it for, and where did the money go. That's all this is about. And then this outrageous thing. Adam Barrow needs to know one thing. Mol miranyum fole na me ya jeme watati watila. Well, the more you come for it, I'm now going to France, France, before France people help me. May Yajame what I tell what. If you're willing to do what Yajame did, be ready to soak your hand in blood, because that's what Yajame did to get to where he got to. If you're willing to do that, Afamoli, show the people, let them get prepared, because you're not going to get away with this. This corruption upon corruption upon corruption, and excusing it every time it comes up. People are accused of corruption, you move them to a different place after you fight tooth and nail to keep them in the system. People are trying to do something good like Manjang, you fire them. Look at that guy, he's still sitting at the commission, member Social Security, who became the face of that anti-Manjang campaign. I can't even remember his name. He's now sitting at the commission, proving upon, testimony upon testimony that he was corrupt, even while he was at the council. So people are not willing to go back to where we were. The sooner you know that, the better for you. So the Gambian people, we always like to be distracted by side issues, by non-issues, by trying to finger point to people we don't like. We're never, this should be one thing that should unite us. In 1995 or 94, when they took over, they set up a commission, the Algali Commission. Even though they seized some properties, a lot of it, they used it, they were using it as their bases, as their camps or whatever, NIA offices. Those were government institutions. I'm not saying they should have been used for that, but it was not personally used. A lot of it, in fact, almost, if not all of it, at least 90% of it. That's what Yajame did. So why, when the judge told you that this is a travesty, that while the investigation is going on, you shouldn't be selling anything, but you go ahead and sell it anyway. You come and excuse yourself and OIC kana. So we need places where we can build hotels. Baloka from Wallako, that what is it called? Radisson Blue. No hotel was built. Yajame's vehicle, they were sitting there collecting dust, and then Yarafan, they were selling them to each other. So now they're arresting young people because they are dissatisfied with what is going on, the status quo. While they're doing that, trying to shift the blame to always the, number one culprit is always UDP. That didn't work. The youth said they want a permit to protest. In fact, I must apologize to them, because initially, all I had was Mahdi's group, the Edward Francis small Center for Human Rights. They were going to plan a protest to come out. So all of a sudden I heard about Gala. I'm like, we never heard of these people. Who are they? And why are they trying to protest? But it turns out they are decent people, because I didn't know the names of who were involved. And then I saw the names after the fact, like, yes. In my humble opinion, let them coordinate the protest, make it super big. But the number of protests, it doesn't matter. Whether its size is big or not big, as long as people are dissatisfied, they should come out and do the protest. In April 10 and 11. They attacked the children in Banjul, in Brikama, in the Combo areas. The other students heard about it in the provinces, and they went on. That is why it's April 10th and 11, because it was day one. They assaulted and killed some students. The other students got angry. So, Adam Barrow, you don't learn from history. Come out and tell people what happened. That is the only solution to this. There is no other way around. 500 people are named. They can all come out and say, I didn't do this, I did the other thing, this person did the other thing. It doesn't matter. The record is there presented. Let everybody know what is happening. So in essence, this is the one thing that we should hold on to. I don't know why they are scared of this list, whose name is on it, who is involved, or Barrow is afraid of doing what is necessary to be done. But the list will come out, the truth will be told, and people will know what happened. The longer you delay it, the worse it's going to get for you. So for the rest of the Gambian people, like I said earlier today, ignore everything that everybody else is saying in trying to defend this government. Everybody knows they are corrupt. If they are not corrupt, they are defending corruption. If they are not defending corruption, they are excusing it. Absolutely 100% everybody in there. That's what their job is. They don't care for the Gambian people, and they will do whatever they can to perpetuate this system, because that's where their benefit lies. This should be where we rally as Gambians and say we're putting our foot down. Enough is enough. No more of this corruption. Barrow must go, and that should be our standing position. Forget about anybody else who is trying to detract you, who is trying to say, oh, the Republic should have done this, should have done the other thing. Mustafa shouldn't have. No. What he did is patriotic, and now the onus is on us, the citizens, not to let this go. We fight to the bitter end to make sure this government is kicked out, and then we have proper accountability, because with them in power, there's no accountability. They're just protecting themselves, preserving their own interests. All they're doing is delaying tactics. They come up with another story or another scandal. People will concentrate on that one and forget about this while they're transporting people from Banjul into Banjul, from Banjul to Jabang. Nobody knows where they are. Wajame tactics, just to wear them out, to intimidate them. So to those young people, this is the part of the game. It's part of the process. It is not ideal. It is not conducive. It is uncomfortable. But if you want to wrest control out of the hands of corrupt elite, it comes with this kind of, situation. Nobody wants it. It is not ideal. But I'm sure you guys are strong. You're prepared for it. Stay there. And, the people are with you. 100%. IGP Toure, people are watching as well. Like I said, we're not letting this go until the people's demands are met. And this is just the beginning of it. We'll come back and talk more about it. Alaba.